like Gary Stevenson, I studied economics at university, but he was rather a lot better at it than me. He got a much better grade and then went on to earn a lot more money than me. However, there are some quite severe and clear flaws in his line of argument. Gary Stevenson's line of argument is a bit too simplistic. He basically says that the poor give all their money to the rich, which isn't quite true. The argument sounds very logical. Poorer households have to spend all of their income on rent, food, utilities. In brief, they give all their money to landlords, who of course left-wing politicians love to demonise. They then spend all their money in the supermarket, which then ends up in the hands of shareholders of supermarkets. They also pay some money to their utilities, which then ends up with the shareholders of utility companies. However, what this rhetoric totally misses out are the high taxes that are either passed on to the poor or the poor have to pay. Two top ones here are stamp duty and fuel duty. So, landlords have to pay a high level of stamp duty than people who are buying a house to live in. To then get a certain level of return on that property, they then have to pass on that stamp duty in higher rents. So stamp duty is a wealth tax that then gets passed on to the poor. Secondly, fuel duty. When you spend £1.36 per litre for petrol, you're only actually paying the retailer 70p, because 66p of that £1.36 per litre is tax. You have fuel duty at 52.95 pence, and then you have 20% VAT on what the retailer is charging for fuel. Imagine if we cut fuel duty by 36 pence per litre and then fuel was £1 per litre. It would then be a lot cheaper for poor people to get to work, because they're having to spend a large amount of their net income on just the basics to enable them to get to work. So, instead of saying tax the rich, but I don't know how, because it's hard to tax the rich, abolish stamp duty and also reduce fuel duty by 36p per litre, and in those simple steps, which are very doable, you'd immediately have a huge impact in solving the cost of living crisis.